I used seduction to survive the hunter but lost my heart instead. He aimed the rifle at my chest and said, "Run." I smiled and took a step closer. The first thing I learned about staying alive was simple: be whatever they need. In the woods of northern Michigan, with snow eating up the world one flake at a time, I stood barefoot in front of the man who should have killed me. He was older, colder, built like the forest itself, silent and thick and impossible to move. A hunter by trade. But I'd seen that flicker in his eyes. The one that says he wants something more than blood. So I gave it to him. Or at least I pretended to. I didn't know his name then. Just the feel of his calloused fingers when he yanked me out of the coyote trap. The way his eyes scanned my thin shirt and torn jeans and paused too long. He grunted something low, maybe idiot, maybe lucky. Then threw me over his shoulder like I weighed nothing and carried me to the cabin buried deep beyond the map lines. That night I didn't sleep. Not because I was scared of what he might do, but because I was scared of how I already wanted him to do it. He told me his name on the third day, Wade. No last name. No questions. Wade was quiet, but not cruel. He gave me soup, fixed my ankle, and barked at me not to touch his traps. When I tried to flirt a touch here, a glance too long, he'd look away with this tightness in his jaw, like I was something he had to survive too. But I wasn't just playing a game. I needed him. No one else knew I existed anymore. I was on the run. From what? I never told him. From who? Well, you don't exactly confess to a hunter in the woods that your ex-boyfriend framed you for a felony and you'd rather die than go back to that cage. So instead, I smiled. I laughed at his scowls, cooked terrible pancakes, and sometimes at night, I walked out to where he was cleaning his rifle and sat close. Too close. And he let me. It happened the night the storm knocked the power out. The fire was down to embers. I sat beside him, shivering not just from cold but from what I was about to do. I reached for his hand. He flinched but didn't pull away. "I'm not gonna hurt you," I whispered. "I know. I'm not asking for anything." "Yes, you are." I didn't say anything after that. I just let my head fall on his shoulder. And for the first time, Wade didn't push me off. That night, I slept in his bed. Nothing happened, not really. But I woke up with his arms still around me. And that was worse. More dangerous than sex, somehow. Because it felt like something real. But real things don't last. Not for people like me. The next morning, Wade was gone. I found a note scrawled on the table. "Stay inside. Don't go past the traps." Hours passed. The sun dropped low. And then the knock came. Not Wade. 2 men. Bad boots. Worse eyes. One smiled with too many teeth. "You seen a boy? Pretty. About your age. Might be using a fake name." I froze. They were bounty hunters. Not the legal kind. Not even the smart kind. But the paid kind. I lied. I always lie well. But the way one of them glanced at my backpack where my old ID was hidden told me the game was over. They said they'd come back. I waited until night. Then I ran. I don't know how long I was in the snow before Wade found me. He didn't yell. He just looked at me soaking wet, bleeding from a branch cut across my cheek, limping from my ankle that never really healed. "You want to die out here?" he asked. I thought I already did. He didn't speak again, just carried me back. This time, when he laid me in the bed, he didn't leave. He sat, held my hand, until my fingers stopped shaking. And in the dark, I whispered, "I don't want to lie anymore." Wade didn't flinch, didn't ask. I told him everything. "You ever kill someone?" he asked when I was done. I looked at him. "No." "Then you're better than me." I don't know what made me do it, the cold, the pain, the ache I'd been carrying since the day I ran, but I kissed him. And this time he kissed me back. Slow, careful, like he thought I might break in his hands. Or maybe he was afraid he would. The days that followed were a blur of warmth and dread. Wade taught me how to shoot, how to trap without cruelty, how to listen to the trees for signs of danger. We moved like something close to normal. We laughed. We touched. We made love like it was the only thing keeping the world from falling in. But the world doesn't forget. The bounty hunters returned this time with more friends. Wade didn't tell me. just handed me a pack, a loaded pistol, and said, "You go north. Now." I stood frozen. "What about you?" "I'll slow them down. They'll kill you." His jaw tightened. "I've killed worse." I shook my head, the tears already coming. "I'm not running again." He stepped close, held my face in both hands. "You have to." "No." He kissed me, the kind of kiss you give when you know it's the last one. And then he pushed me out the back door. I didn't get far. Gunshots echoed behind me. I turned back, and I saw it Wade, bloodied but still standing. Two of them down. One left, the leader, the one with the toothy grin. They fought like animals. Then a crack. Wade's shoulder broke under the blow. I didn't think. I fired. The bounty hunter fell. Wade didn't move. He survived. Barely. I stayed. I sewed him up with shaking fingers, cried while he cursed through the pain. When he finally opened his eyes, he whispered, "Told you to run." I smiled. I stopped listening to hunters. They say love born in survival doesn't last. But they never met us. Wade healed. I cleared my name eventually. The ex-boyfriend who framed me got caught in a mess of his own lies. Wade and I bought a cabin of our own, not deep in the woods, but close enough that we still hear the trees at night. Some mornings, I wake up to the smell of coffee and see him, standing shirtless at the stove, scowling like always. And I smile, because I used seduction to survive the hunter. But love, Rayal, aching, terrifying love is what made me stay. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.